Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a celebratory edition of JD's Wildcat World. This is the first ever episode that I've done right after the game, but I've had a couple people ask for this, and they're day one fans, and I'm super happy right now, so I thought I might as well do it. So proud of this team, this young team who had the lowest ranking of the John Calipari era coming into the season, and they have done great things. To be honest with you, dominated Miami at home, and now beat North Carolina in Atlanta, and two top 10 wins for the Cats this year, and you can't say that about many teams around the country. Very, very proud, very solid effort from everybody. I thought everybody did a good job. The Cats win in Atlanta by a score of 87-83. Aaron Bradshaw seals the game, hitting 1 of 2 free throws at the end. But this game was a game that I felt like was never going to end, to be honest with you. We would go up 8 to 10 points, and then they would cut it to 2 to 4. They even took the lead for about 16 seconds there towards the end of the game, and we responded. Rob Dillingham responds, hits big shots. DJ Wagner gets to the rack, hits a big layup. Those are just some that are coming to my mind. Of course, Bradshaw hitting a free throw. Rob Dillingham hitting 1 of 2 free throws. And then I thought was the right decision. I'm in a group chat, several group chats of Kentucky fans wanting to talk, but the main one that I actually I talk to and associate with, we all said do not foul. That was our opinion on that. Do not foul. They didn't. It later comes out. I just saw a press clipping it was a tweet from Sean Smith of Go Big Blue Country, and also Sources Say podcast that said, Trey Mitchell says that Cal trusted the team, left it up to the team whether to foul or not. That's huge, in my opinion. I loved the decision not to foul, and North Carolina made a mistake. I think they were going to go to R.J. Davis, not 100%, but I think that would have had to been the plan. He was on fire, and just didn't even get in the set. So, very good job by the Cats. A very tough win. Just like I said, North Carolina never went away. No, it felt like, if we could hit one more shot. I know there was a time we were up 12 and we had a fast break, and Reeves missed an open three that would have put it to 15. And I thought, man, if he'd have hit that, this game's pretty much in the bag, but couldn't get it to go. And Carolina hung around to the very end, made me a nervous wreck. I was hot and sweaty like I'm playing in the game, but that's part of being a fan of college sports and college basketball especially. It'll get you near your deathbed. So I'm glad. First of all, it's an honor for people to ask and want my reaction to the game. I thought the Cats did a lot of things well. There's also a down point in the game, which is, we did some things that I didn't love going under the screens. Especially against R.J. Davis. He lit us up, and so did Cormac Ryan. Cormac Ryan is a guy that it just seemed like he kept getting open look after open look off the screens. And then we got really lucky that he missed a three in the corner, that it was wide open. But, hey, we'll take it. They got lucky that we missed some of our shots too. All in all, very proud of this team. R.J. Davis had 27. Felt like he got almost all those in the second half for the Tar Heels, and Cormac Ryan finishes with 20. I thought we did a good job limiting Baycott, to be honest with you. I know Bradshaw had 4 fouls early in the second half. Ugo got in there, did some great things. Thiero, oh my gosh, dude was everywhere on defense. Didn't do much on offense, although I will say he hit a 3 in the first half that was big. But he was a defensive monster. He was all over the floor, jumping up, blocking shots, getting rebounds. He was playing very, very solid on the defensive end. And, I think they played Ugo. He only played 9 minutes. It felt like he played a lot more than that. But I'm saying now, only played 9 minutes. He said he wanted to get him in 5 to 10. I think that the foul trouble to our bigs made him play him more than he wanted to. But, hey, I thought he looked good while he was in there. I don't know how many blocks he ended up with, but I think he had to at least have 2 or 3. And he did what he needed to do in that game. And it's so nice to have the 7-footers of Bradshaw and you go back. They're huge. I saw some clogging the lane comments. I'm just going to dismiss those because if you're watching the game, the whole first half that Hugo was in there, he was setting ball screens at the top of the key. He was nowhere even near the lane. It did not clog the lane up. I'm just going to dismiss that until there's something to actually whine about. And there's nothing. Like, I'm fine with the way we are playing. We stuck to playing fast for the most part, scored 87 points, and did very, very good things. So I thought, especially there was parts of the first half where we looked like a very solid defensive team. And then there was parts of the game where you're like, oh, man, we couldn't guard me, But I think the defense, will it eventually cost us a game? Maybe. But, man, we can score. We can score at such an alarming rate that it's not like a thing I'm really going to worry about until it's time. Only shot 23 threes. Like I said, I want 25 to 30. I'll take 23 in a win. Hit 8 of them, 35% from 3. Out-rebounded them by 11. That's a big number. And that's another reason why you love to have the 7-footers back. Although, Justin Edwards grabbed 6 boards, Wagner at point guard grabbed 6 boards, and Reed Shepherd at point guard grabbed 6 boards. So, it is nice to have those big guys back, and, they tap it out, gets to a guard, and we're running. That's another great thing about having them back. Just a very good all-around performance. I want to shout out Antonio Reeves, who I picked as my MVP. I thought he would have 20+. He ends with 9 on 2 of 9 of shooting. Like I said, previous episode, has a rap of not being able to hit the big shots and play good in big games. For the most part tonight, he didn't. But, man, when we needed him to hit a shot, he hit it. And there was that little jumper from about the free throw line, put us up 4. It was a huge shot at the time. And we needed it very badly. He only played 23 minutes because, I think Cal saw that he was struggling for the most part. But big shot taker and maker, Antonio Reeves there at the end. DJ Wagner, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Honestly, I know it isn't his career high in points. I know he scored more in games this season, but I think this was his best all-around performance. I think he did a lot of good things. Got to the rim at will. Still need to work on, especially against Baycott, and they had one more guy that was really tall, but hard to finish once you get by your guy. But he had a heck of a finish and one late in that game that really helped us. So I love DJ's game. I love Rob Dillingham's game. 17 points off the bench. Couldn't really get it going from 3. But had a big steal and a big layup. I see Rob driving people crazy online. I love you all know I'm the biggest Rob Dillingham fan there is. He's my favorite player on the team. He just does so many things well. Everybody makes mistakes. Some of his are avoidable. But, man, I saw Cal in the presser. And this is awesome to see. Said you can't clip his wings. He flies. You can't clip him. You cannot slow him down. Or, he is going to give you things that other people can't on this team. And, he's also going to do things that other people wouldn't do on this team that are negative. But you've got to live with it because he does so many great things on the floor. Like I said, he's my favorite player on the team. And Reed Shepherd, I thought he scored 11, but his scoring wasn't the biggest thing. He did hit a big 3, but, just facilitating the ball, being on the floor. Good things happen when 15 is on the floor for the blue and white. So, I thought Trey Mitchell, once Bradshaw had to go out with the 4 fouls, I thought Trey Mitchell did a very good job on the defensive end. It looked like On offense, we were trying to feed. North Carolina would switch. They'd get a guard on them, and we'd try to feed Trey. There was a couple times where it worked, and a couple times that it got poked away by a smaller guard or a bad pass into Trey. But thought he played well too. Justin Edwards is getting there. Still did some things that will frustrate you. He gets rim stuffed. We've got to figure out how he's getting rim stuffed so much, but 8.6 boards once again. Only played sparingly, played 13 minutes, but while he was in there, he did good, especially in the second half. He hit some big shots. So, everybody's going to aggravate people and do things that drive you nuts, but I love this team. I love the direction we're going. Aaron Bradshaw proves why he's a difference maker. Not only on the offensive end where he gets 12 points, but defensively, man. We have missed our 7-footers, and I'm so glad to have him back. He made an impact early, and he played the majority of the second half with 4 fouls. So very, very awesome for Bradshaw. I think he came in at the under 8 timeout and played the rest of the way. It might have been the under 4, but I think I remember him being in there for quite a while. So, people are going to have to realize they're going to have to defend him behind the 3-point line. I mean, this is the second game in a row he's hit one, and, people, they got to realize he can stroke it. He's not your normal college 5. He's a stretch big that can shoot it from the outside, and I love seeing him shoot. I hope Cal continues to let him, because that's his game. Mid-range 3-pointers, I'm all for it. So another good performance from him. I don't know what else to say besides heck of a gritty win. We needed this. We needed the win very badly, as we lost to Kansas on a neutral floor at the beginning, so it's very big to have. And I've got a stat for some people. We've got people that listen to the podcast, and y'all are all entitled to your opinion. That's what makes things so great, because if we agree, disagree, that's all good. I love debating it, but this is a stat that cannot be argued. Numbers do not lie. John Calipari is now 6-1 against AP top 10 North Carolina teams at Kentucky. The only loss coming, of course, in 2017, and that was about 2 points. So, Carolina, Kentucky regular season games have always been amazing. I think they should play every year, even if it's not in the CBS Sports Classic. Run a home and home with them, and they're always great games. They're always fun. Seems like they're always high scoring, especially lately. You had the Malik Monk game where he had 47. That one's 6 out. You got the Tayshaun Prince 5 threes games. That was at Rupp. I'm trying to think of some other moments that are good in Kentucky's favor. The Anthony Davis block on John Henson, the national championship year. That's pretty good memory. That's pretty good. Who would think of, who did Anthony Davis block in that game? It was John Henson, who went on to play in the NBA. And that was a huge play then. And the Cats tonight made a huge plays in the crunch time. It was awesome, and I was talking to somebody right after the game. It's awesome to see us win a close game, first of all, and a big close game. We had won the close game against St. Joe's earlier in the year. This one's on a way bigger stage on CBS against a top 10 team. You get it done, and you're sitting pretty going into – we're going to end our non-conference with Louisville and Illinois State. Barring something completely crazy, we should go into conference play 10-2. And you look at the SEC, and you're like, man, the SEC looks from an outsider's perspective to be down compared to what I at least thought it was going to be at the beginning of the year. You've got Creighton and Alabama playing right now. That would be a big win for the conference. It's been close in the first half. I've been watching a little bit of it after our game, but Bama getting that win would be big. I don't know if they'll pull it out, but if they win that, I would assume they might find their way back in the top 25. But Tennessee looks like your main competition in the SEC as of now. They've lost 3 games. They're vulnerable. So we'll see. But let's go take it one game at a time, just like we did tonight against Carolina. I had us 86-81. We win 87-83. And, another play I want to touch on that was huge was, North Carolina was kind of coming back at one point in the second half. Reed Shepherd with the steal and the dunk. That was huge. A huge play. And, Reed is a crazy good defender. Like, I wouldn't say a crazy good defender, but he's super good at timing up steals in a way that I haven't seen in a while. Rajon Rondo was very good at doing this as well. I feel like Ashton Hagans was pretty good at stealing the ball. Heck, even Anthony Davis, I feel like, could steal the ball very well. And, he would block a shot and keep it in bounds, kind of equivalent to a steal. But he did that better than anybody, by the way, that I've seen in college. But Reed does such a great job on knowing when to go for steals. He very rarely overcommits and then gets beat backdoor. I think I've seen him do it once or twice this year, but you live with that because of the good that he brings by going for steals. And he knows when to swipe down on the ball without getting a reach, and that's something that is huge, something we've lacked the last couple years. So Reed's IQ is just phenomenal to be a freshman. I mean, he does so many great things. I haven't seen his plus minus for this game, but I know it has to be up there because, it is every game. I mean, he does a great job. And, he doesn't have to be the primary ball handler. He can play just as good off the ball. And that's also something that I love to see. So, what else is there to say? I really love this team. I think that we have the potential to do some very big things. I think this team has the potential to win the regular season SEC conference. Could they go win the SEC tournament? We'll see. Let's win one game in the SEC tournament before we start thinking that. But I think we've got a very good chance to win the regular season SEC title. So, you look at this team, and the only blemish on the resume is a loss to UNC Wilmington, who, in my opinion, is going to win their conference and get in the tournament. And, I don't think that'll be as bad of a loss as it looks right now. I'm anxious to see, excited to see Kentucky, where we will fall or rise up to in the rankings. Clemson lost today. They were 13th. Gonzaga lost last night. They were 10th. Creighton lost earlier in the week. They are 8th. Trying to think. And then, of course, North Carolina was ranked 9th. We beat them. So I think we definitely vault into the top 10, maybe even higher. And if we don't, there's something wrong there after that performance. That was a very gutsy win. And we moved to 8-2. Carolina goes to 7-3. And I want to give props to them. Like I said earlier, right when we started off, they never wavered. They never backed away. I never thought for sure that we had this game won until the final buzzer sounded, because they have guys that can go out and hit a shot right in your face, and R.J. Davis proves that. And Cormac Ryan could have done it too if he had a chance there on that last possession. They are good. I think they will win the ACC, just my opinion. Once again, these podcast episodes, these are all solely my opinion unless I quote somebody, and I will tell you where that quote came from. But my opinion, I think North Carolina wins the ACC. I think they're miles ahead of Miami. Heck, I even think they're miles ahead of Duke. And I'm not saying they'll sweep Duke this year because that rivalry sometimes is wild. But I think they're as a team. I think they are the best team in the ACC. Virginia almost lost at home to Northeastern tonight. End up winning by 2. But I don't. I'm one of those guys that it's kind of like Purdue. I don't take Virginia very seriously when it comes tournament time. Everybody's acting like Purdue is the greatest thing since sliced bread winning against Arizona today. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a great win. Arizona's very good, but I think the statement win for the Cats was way more of a statement than that win, to be honest with you. Just my opinion. I think Carolina and Kentucky are better than Purdue and Arizona. I think both teams are. Just my opinion, once again, but I'll stand on that hill. I don't think Arizona will get tested very much in the Pac-12. I can't think of any team at all that will test them. Maybe I'm overlooking somebody, but Oregon, maybe. UCLA, my goodness. If you watch the first game of the CBS Classic, man, UCLA, dreadful to watch. I don't know what happened. They lost several pieces, but my goodness, they're hard to watch. Then from there, Utah, nah. Arizona should cakewalk through that conference. And Purdue probably be a little bit more challenged, but I'm sure they'll win their conference as well. But the point in all this is saying, when it comes down to it, I think this is a better win than Purdue over Arizona. So that might be an unpopular opinion, but you all let me know what you think. I'll be anxious to also see. This is a quad one win. Does this help our seeding at all? Our NCAA tournament seeding and bracketology. I know it's early. It's December. Bracketologies probably don't matter right now, but I still like to look and get an outlook on what we're looking at come March. And, if we don't, we're liable to suffer one or two more bad losses this year. How bad does that plague us? If we go, let's see, 12-2 our first 14 conference games, how does that work? We'll see. I don't know what they'll do. Like I said, with the SEC being kind of down, does that factor in? I'm a numbers guy, and I love bracketology and March Madness. So just throwing some ideas out there. But I will say, going to Texas A&M in the middle of January, man, that'll be a rough game. They just took Houston down to the wire today. That'll be a tough one. That's another team in the SEC that's pretty good. So, all in all, once again, so proud. I think this fan base is relieved to get a huge primetime win. I think everybody's excited. Everybody seems to be excited that I've talked to. So, as always, around here, it's Go Cats. Since I'm recording this post-game, the Louisville game is in a couple days on Thursday. I want to go ahead and just give you a quick preview. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, to be honest with you, because, normal years, you're like UK Louisville. Wow. This is going to be awesome. Great rivalry game. Don't think that's the case this year, as it wasn't last year either. The Kenny Payne era at Louisville has been rough the first couple years. With that being said, if we had an assistant coach opening, I would love to bring Kenny back with open arms. But I'm really happy with the staff we have right now, by the way. I think they've done an incredible job. John Welch, I think, has been very good game planning for teams and encouraging us to play fast, from what I've heard. And that's been huge for this team. But I'm just saying, if there were a position to be open and Kenny got let go, I would be good with him coming back. But Louisville comes in. They are 4-6 right now. They play tomorrow against Pepperdine. They are liable to lose that game. I'd say they will be slightly favored, and they are. They are favored by 2.5 points, which is wild to me, to be honest. I get that it's Pepperdine, but if you all have watched this Cardinals team, folks, it's not been very good for them. They come off 3 straight losses. They lost to Virginia Tech by 7, DePaul by 7, and then lost to Arkansas State by 12 in a game where Arkansas State dominated. They're up by 20 in the second half, and I'm going to go ahead and predict. I'd say Louisville will win tomorrow. but it won't be by much. So you're looking at them probably coming in here 5-6. And we should take care of business. It is at Louisville. The Cats should come out and just have their way with Louisville. But it is college basketball. So, Chicago State just beat Northwestern, who was a top 25 team. Chicago State's one of the worst teams in D1. So, nothing's ever written in stone until the game is final. But I do feel very good about beating the Dirty Birds. I just realized I said Louisville on the podcast. That's my apologies. I made a vow before I started this podcast not to mention that team down the road. But we do play the Cardinals on Thursday at 6 o'clock on ESPN. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting the season sweep on them. It's always been L's down in this household and on this podcast. And when you beat them, it's just a little more sweet than when you beat anybody else. It's kind of like Tennessee for me in basketball. Our biggest rivalries, this is my opinion, but modern day basketball, Tennessee might be one. To be honest, they've upped their game. They are very solid every year. I'll go Tennessee 1, Louisville 2. Just because it's in-state. I know they haven't been good the last couple years. And then who's your all's third team? Kansas? That's mine that I cannot stand losing to. I think those are all three good rivalries. As far as conference, I can't stand playing Arkansas on the road just because their fans are I don't know what they think they've done to be so arrogant, but man, their trash talk online, I mean, they get rowdy. So I hate playing Arkansas as well. But back to the Louisville game. I'm excited. Okay, I'm excited. I just want to talk ball, and I hope y'all are enjoying this. But back to the Louisville. Oh, I said it. Back to the team that is 4-6, also known as the Cardinals. They are led in scoring by Sky Clark, who is a former Kentucky basketball commit. I cannot speak. I'm so happy. But he leads them in scoring. Brandon Huntley Hatfield, who once played at Tennessee, averaging 9 boards a game. Those are the two main guys you're going to have to shut down. Other than that, they don't have a lot. I'd like to highlight 1 or 2 players on each team to shut down, but I think DJ Wagner should have his way with Sky Clark. I don't think this is going to be a Sky Clark coming out party. To be honest with you, I think DJ should own him. And I'm not worried about Huntley Hatfield either on the inside because Bradshaw, Trey Mitchell, and Ugo, all three did a great job on Baycott tonight. So I like the Cats, and I like the Cats. I don't think Cal will if we get up big, I don't think Cal will absolutely destroy Kenny Payne just because they're such good friends. That's the only thing that's preventing me from picking us to win by 30. I think we get up. I think, wouldn't surprise me if it's tight for like the first 10 minutes. But after that, I think we just barrel roll them. I think we beat them pretty good. And I think the Cats win by a score of 92-70. So I think the Cats get a 22-point win at the Yum Center and complete the season sweep of the Cats beating them in football and basketball. And it'll be a celebratory day on Thursday, just like tonight is here in Big Blue Nation. So thank you all. MVP for the Louisville game, I'm going DJ Wagner. I think he's got a statement to make. All the talking heads, if you will, of the college basketball world kept pushing the narrative that DJ was going to Louisville. Oh, my gosh. Jeff Goodman is the one that pops out to me. Man, he's gone. He's going to Louisville. Heck, even Jay Williams, out of left field once the season had already started, just out of nowhere, no sources whatsoever or anything, just pops off with, well, DJ, things don't go good at Kentucky. I could see DJ Wagner transferring to Louisville. No, that's not happening. DJ continues to find his role with this team. And that's our go-to guy down the stretch. Whether it's getting to the rim, whether it's kicking it out, he continues to be our guy. So I think DJ Wagner has a point to make. I think DJ goes for 20+. And I think he has a coming out party, if you will, and torches of Louisville. Oh, my gosh. Y'all are going to have to send me reminders. Do not drop that name on the podcast. But I think DJ Wagner has his way with the Cardinals, and the Cats win by 22 points. So I expect big games from everybody. I think everybody will play well coming off this win against the Tar Heels. So thank you all for listening. This is definitely probably the longest podcast episode I've had on this show, but it was well worth it. I mean, I'm excited. I know you all are too. That's why you asked me to do this. So I thought it was a good idea to capitalize on the momentum. And so proud of the Cats and what they continue to do. Shout out Coach Cal for not dribbling the air out of the ball at the end and letting us play. That's huge. Shout out to him for listening to the players on whether to foul or not at the end. I really love what I'm seeing from Coach Cal and these Cats. And the numbers speak for themselves. 6-1 against UNC, top 10 teams. So go Cats and go Coach Cal. You're doing a great job. And that whole staff, like I said, has done amazing with this team. So until next time, where we're hopefully celebrating a win over Little Brother and that team up north, go Cats, and continue to like, listen, share, subscribe. JD's Wildcat World on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Go add JD's Wildcat World on Facebook. Follow me on X/Twitter. And, it's time. The season's kicked into gear. We're looking good. We're feeling good. Let's continue to capitalize on the momentum and get a big win against the team up north. Until next time, this has been JD's Wildcat World. Thank you all so much. And go Cats.